Good morning, warriors. Get arranged here. Please join me in the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart, that I might not sin against God. Join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have been working through one of our social graces, which is a good handshake, right? Firm and cheerful, eyes on eyes. So let's see how we do on a Thursday morning. Handshake, firm and cheerful, eyes on eyes. All right, we've also been working through our catechism and questions. We've been working through the problem of sin, and the catechism actually continues, and we'll learn even how bad sin is. So first we've talked about sin entered the world through Adam, that he broke the covenant that God had for him. The covenants always have blessing and curses, things you need to do or not do, and Adam broke that covenant. We also learned that sin is any lack of conformity to or transgression of the law of God, and there's two parts. Lack of conformity means not being or doing what God requires, and transgression is doing what God forbids. When I knew it's wrong and I'm going to do it anyway. So we have two things that both of those things mean that we have the wrath and curse of God on us. The next question then makes it a little bit more personal, and the question is, how sinful are you by nature? How sinful are you by nature? And the answer is, I am corrupt in every part of my being. So repeat after me. I am corrupt in every part of my being. Your turn. What does the word corrupt mean? Someone is corrupt or something is corrupt. So what does it mean, Liam? Messed up, yeah. It's even more, probably even more stronger than that. Corrupt. If something's corrupt, Elliot, corrupt. Yeah, corrupt is a pretty strong word. It's evil, it's wicked. It's something, if someone is a corrupt, they're a crook, they're committing crime. So it's pretty strong language when we talk about ourselves. We like to think of ourselves much better than we are. We think that, well, I'm pretty good, or I do a lot of good things. But the Bible tells us a totally different story. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. By nature, thanks to Adam, we are corrupt. In every part of my being. So my thoughts, my words, my deeds, everything is corrupted by sin. And we'll talk more about what we need. We're in a really helpless state. We need someone to come in and save us. We're also talking about the virtue of prudence. Talked about two things with prudence. One is impulsiveness. Being imprudent or not prudent means that you're impulsive. You say something or do something without thinking. A prudent person thinks before they talk, thinks before they do. But the second part of prudence is they act when they need to. An imprudent person means like they kind of wait, or I'm not sure, or they hesitate when it's time to act. One of the stories I like to read about prudence comes from Aesop's Fables. This is one I've read before in the past, but I think it really illustrates prudence. So let me read the story to you. It's called The Sick Lion. A lion, no longer able from the weakness of his old age to hunt for his prey, laid himself up in his den, breathing with great difficulty and speaking with a low tone. The lion gave out that he was very ill indeed. The report soon spread among the beasts, and there was great lamentation for the sick lion. One after the other came to see him. Catching him thus alone and in his own den, the lion made an easy prey of them and grew fat upon his diet. The fox, suspecting the truth of the matter, came at length to make his visit of inquiry and, standing at some distance, asked his majesty how he did. "Ah, my dearest friend," said the lion, "is it you? Why do you stand so far from me? Come, sweet friend, and pour a word of consolation in the poor lion's ear, who has but a short time to live. Bless you, said the fox, but excuse me if I cannot stay, for, to tell you the truth, I feel quite uneasy at the mark of footsteps that I see here, all pointing towards your den, and none returning outwards. What does that story tell us about prudence? What does that story tell us about prudence? Reed, what does that tell us about prudence? Right, so the lion was greedy. He was trying to trick people. What about the animals? What about the animals? Especially the fox. Especially the fox. What does that teach us? Pierce, is that you in the way in the back? What does that tell us about prudence? Right. Right, yeah, good. Yeah, so the fox showed prudence. First of all, there's a couple important lessons. First of all is there's a bunch of footsteps towards the den. The fox was wise to not just follow the crowd. It just seemed like a lot of people going there, so maybe I should go there and go in the den. He was wise not to follow the crowd, and a lot of times that's a very prudent thing to do. Just because a bunch of people are doing it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. The second thing the fox did, like Pierce said, is he waited, he paused, and he thought. He considered, he looked around, he saw clues, and then made a decision. And the third thing is that he did the right thing. Like he did not rush in to do something. So as we think about ourselves being prudent, we always want to make sure that we are thoughtful. We don't have to follow the crowd, but we know that the Lord gives us the right path, the right thing to do in His Word. By following that, even if we're the only one doing it, we're showing great prudence. We're singing our song of the month. It's the month of Thanksgiving, so we're singing about all good things. Let's show great prudence today. We're going to think before we speak and think before we do. When it's time to act and do the right thing, we will do it. The Lord be with you.